Witches! It is time for the Witches Movie Coven. Grab your goat, grab your swim fins, grab a shark, and we need a bigger boat because we are doing Jaws tonight. We are doing the classic 1975 film Jaws. Indeed, we are. Hope you saw it. Will you go in the water? But wait, who are we? We are witches. My name is Patti Negri. I am one of your hosts. You might know me from television, from YouTube, from my podcast, from bathroom walls across America. But let me, or my books, Old World Magic for the Modern World, or my newest beautiful book, Dollcraft, or from bathroom walls across America. I'm going back there. But let me pass this on to my beautiful co-hosts, so they can introduce themselves as well. And Tabitha, before the one not visible here, but such a big part of us, the beautiful Tabitha Meadows running our chat room right. Oh, what? Chat room? I can speak. Chat room right now. So thank you, Tabitha, for keeping us all there. And let's pass it on next to Richard-Lael.
Hello, I am Richard-Lael. It is one name, as it says right there. If I were just Richard, I'd be That's right, I would be. I am a psychic medium. Used to be a psychic small, but I gained some weight. That being said, make certain that you go right over here to the join the coven right over here. You can sleep with me. You can get my pillow. At some point, you might be able to get into Patty's panties, but you can get quotes. You can get books. You can be a bro witch. You can do all of those things right over there at mysterycontrol.com.
Thank you very much. And moving on to, what do you have in your hand there, Courtney Buckley?
That's me, Courtney Buckley, Ghostbait on Scared and Alone, and officially Mother to Dragons, because this is our new bearded dragon, Astromoeba. He is a rescue. I don't know if you can see it, but he has a little hand and a little chopped off tail. Because I know his friends weren't nice to him, so he was $0 at PetSmart, and he needed to go somewhere safe. So we took him, and he's so beautiful. And he loves Shark Week because his first night home was last night, and he watched Shark Week after Mom and Dad went to bed. So
how many dragons do you have now?
We're up to 18 reptiles.
That's a lot. Last week.
We've gotten 3 since last week. We got our first venomous snake. So we got a false water cobra. We tried to feed him tonight. That was fun. And then we got a new chameleon. You guys met Gladys before. Now we have Gandalf. And now Astromoeba.
That is amazing. Thank you so much. And moving along, Jason, Mankey.
I think he's frozen.
He's frozen.
Oh, there he is.
He let it go. Let it go.
Magic.
I've never seen that movie. I am unfrozen, Jason Mankey, author. This is one of my books, The Witch's Book of Spellcraft. I can be found at bookstores across America, and I have written how many books? 10 books. Woo! Yes, I have no reptiles, and I would be scared to live with that snake.
He's sweet. He comes out when his name's Loki, and he comes out when you find out.
I did not want to find out.
Thank you very much. Yeah, by the time we all get to your house, Courtney, you're just going to be a zoo, literally.
We have a whole reptile room.
I think it's already too late.
Yeah, it's way too late for that.
All right, and last, never, ever, ever least, our one and only beautiful Heather Greene.
Hi, I am Heather Greene. I'm the author of Lights, Camera, Witchcraft. Oh, and I forgot to mention, as it says in my feed there, it is one name, not two, Heather. And I am also a journalist, and I cover all things occult in the mainstream media, and an editor at Llewellyn Worldwide, working with wonderful authors who are making all the books that you love to read in bookstores across America. So, and I'm really excited to be here to discuss Shark Week and one of the most classic movies in American cinema tonight.
Thank you very much. Okay, now Jaws, it's a 1975 film. I must say it is Shark Week, but it is the least witchy film I do believe that we have ever reviewed on this. So we'll figure out how to justify the witchiness.
Oh, I've already figured it out. I've got it.
Okay, then scratch that. We will just move on. So hopefully you all watched it. But just in case you didn't, can't wait to hear this one. Just in case you didn't, Richard-Lael, do you have an unbiased synopsis of this classic film?
I do have, but before I do, I will also justify how it's a witch film, because it has bewitched an entire generation and made them afraid to go into swimming pools and even the bathtub. So that in and of itself is witchcraft. That is magic, because that is the cheesiest looking shark since before Baby Shark. Okay, so it's cheesy. So here's the story. It starts off with a young girl who is nameless, and she goes for a swim where she is pulled under and devoured by some still unknown creature. And then, when she is discovered, the police chief of the town is not from this town, Amityville, not the horror, but Amity Island, somewhere else on the East Coast. And the detective, his name is Ishmael. And he actually says at the beginning, "Call me Ishmael." And then, as it turns out, then some Boy Scouts get devoured by this being. And so he joins forces with Captain Ahab so that they can go destroy Moby Dick. I mean, the great Jaws. Unfortunately, Ishmael is afraid of the water with good reason. And unfortunately for him, Jaws has attacked the boat and it is sinking. And so where everything is it's at the end. Everything is in terror. He takes the scuba gear and he throws it into the mouth of this giant mastodon Jaws shark, and then shoots it from the sinking mast of the ship. And then he and Captain Ahab floats back up. They swim to shore. The end until the next season, the next installment of a fake mechanical shark. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was good. Now we do have the entire plot line there, but Heather might have some other facts and interesting things about the movie, cast, crew, etc., etc. Heather.
Yeah, so it's funny, Richard-Lael, your very tight discussion of the plot is actually so accurate, because Steven Spielberg purposely eliminated most of the other side stories to make this movie, and that's actually what makes it most effective, is that it's the shark and the three people. That's the idea of it. But let me go back. So I've got some stuff. I'm going to try to contain myself, because this is one of the most classic films in American cinematic history. For so many reasons, it's a landmark film. So many reasons, and I'll point a few of them out. And if you have ever taken a film 101 class in college, studied film at any capacity, you will have seen this movie, and for good reasons. So 1975, Jaws comes out. 1970s were one of the most prolific eras for fantastic and landmark films. The 1970s was a cinematic garden of wonderful films, and there's reasons for that, which I won't get into right now, but this is one of those. It was released on June 20th, right at the end of school, perfect time for July 4th, perfect time for summer. It was then it had a $12 million budget. It quickly made opening weekend $7 million, around $7 million plus. It has since made worldwide over $400 million. That's only in ticket sales in theaters. It doesn't include video, CD, streaming, or anything else. I said streaming, not screaming there. It was directed by Steven Spielberg, written by, based on a novel by Peter Benchley, and he also wrote the actual screenplay with Carl Gottlieb. So this was designed and what was called this was part of the re-enchantment of the blockbuster film that would happen during the summer. So it was a landmark. It was part of that. It was this change of new cinema. It also, when it came out, was the highest grossing film of its time. It has since been overtaken 2 years later by Star Wars, and today the highest grossing film of all time, adjusted for inflation, is Gone with the Wind. Not adjusted for inflation is Avatar. You can take that as it is. It was filmed in Martha's Vineyard, and yes, takes place in the fictional town of Amity, which is a play on Amityville, which is also from that time. So what are we going to talk about? Steven Spielberg. I am going to try not to give you an hour-long lecture because this is so hard. Steven Spielberg has been one of my family's biggest loves. My dad loves Steven Spielberg. My partner loves Steven Spielberg. He is one of the highest grossing net worth, whatever, filmmakers in Hollywood today. He was born in Ohio. He grew up in Arizona. He studied film in college, although he didn't complete college. This was not his first film. This is his second film, but this is the one that made him. He did Sugarland Express first with John Williams, who did the music on this one as well, and many of the other Steven Spielberg films. But this was his one that made him. This is the one that made him a household name. He did TV movies. He did TV series. He did shorts before this. He did, again, Sugarland Express. This is the movie in 1975 that made him. Other movies you might know, I just figured everybody's got a Steven Spielberg movie that they probably love, especially if you grew up during a certain period of time. But considering the fact that this one came out, and I'm just going to do these in order of after this, this was 75, 77, we have Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which my family watches at least once or twice a year. 1941 and 1979, Raiders came out in 81, of course, followed by more movies in the Raiders series. E.T. was 82, Color Purple 85, Empire of the Sun 87. And if you go into the 90s, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Amistad, Lincoln. And then if you go forward, that was 2012 Lincoln. You go forward into the 20s, you have The Past, Ready Player One, West Side Story, the remake, Disclosure Day being the most recent, which I just saw a couple weeks ago. So this man has produced, and if you don't count the fact that he also wrote Poltergeist and Goonies, he produced Gremlins, Back to the Future, An American Tail, and it eventually formed SKG, which rivals Disney, and also Men in Black. This is a storied career in American cinema. And I'm only mentioning some of them. So I'm sure all of you in the chat could start listing now all of the Spielberg movies you love. And he said once, and this is from film school that I remember, and I don't have the citation on it. He said in early years, his goal was to make films that hit the topics that were most fearful for humans. He wanted to make movies about aliens, sharks, dinosaurs, what am I missing? And ghosts. And he has done all of those. As well as making movies about some of the human horrors like the Holocaust and slavery, etc. So he has hit so many subjects that are so viscerally meaningful to society. Whether you love his style or not, he has done it. And the other thing to understand about Spielberg is that he comes in during the 70s, as I said, was an important era. He is one of a team of people in the new Hollywood that were auteurs, that had grown up with film and television for the first time and had actually had the chance to study it in college. And these include people like Altman, Lucas, Coppola, Scorsese, Woody Allen. These guys came in the 70s. They had studied film. They had been in college for film. They had watched television their whole life. So it's a totally different brand or group of filmmakers and auteurs that came in at this time, which is what made it so miraculous and so interesting and different. So that's Steven Spielberg, and I can go on for another 3 hours, but we won't go there. Let's move on to some of our actors. It's a small cast of people that I'm going to mention. It's Richard Dreyfuss, of course, appears in Close Encounters. He is everyone from that era is going to recognize him. He was in Stand By Me, Goodbye Girl. He was also, of course, once you were in Jaws, you got to be in a few other shark films because you were associated. So Poseidon Into the Deep. Roy Scheider, who had then appeared in Jaws 2, and the shark is still waiting. There he is. But he was also recognizable, The Sorcerer in 1977, which is something we have not reviewed yet, as far as I know. We can check that out. All That Jazz, Marathon Man, The Punisher. He died in 2008. Robert Shaw died several years after this film was made, 1978. He had been in film since the 40s. He appeared in Grapes of Wrath in 1940, which is a classic. He was, of course, in The Deep in 77. That was taking off on Jaws. The Sting, From Russia with Love, Black Sunday. He had been in a ton of films since the 1940s. Again, he died in 1978, which was 3 years after this film was made. You have in it Murray Hamilton, who was in The Graduate. You have Lorraine Gray, who appeared in there's the mayor, the evil mayor, the evil political figure that was relatable at the time and perhaps today too. Jaws 2, Lorraine Gray, who is the wife, appears in Jaws 2 and Jaws the Revenge. We can talk about 1941. We can talk about the Jaws the Revenge and the other Jawses. I know Jaws 3D is Jason's favorite. He already told us in our back chat, and I think I know why. So let's get to the magic of Jaws. And I think Richard-Lael already mentioned this. Richard-Lael said the magic of Jaws is the reception. It's because it made a generation terrified of the water. And this is actually accurate. Not only did it make people scared of the water, and this was a recognizable Jaws effect, a psychological thing known as the Jaws effect. I had friends who would not go in the bathtub because of the fear of Jaws. This was a real thing, and it still is to some extent. It also created a noticeable uptick in the killing of sharks. And Spielberg has said since that he regrets that. He didn't mean that to happen, but it happened, and there was a noticeable uptick in the attacks and killings of sharks throughout the world because of Jaws. Of course, I don't know if this is magic or not, but this is Hollywood magic. You had Jaws 2, Jaws 3D, and Jaws the Revenge. And because of Jaws the Revenge was so badly received, it ended the interest in Jaws movies, or shark movies, generally speaking, until later. And that's number 5. This is going to be the most fun. And get ready, Courtney, because this is going to be the most fun of my whole little bit here, is shark movies. So prior to Jaws, there were very few shark movies. There was Shark in 1967. There was a shark movie in the 30s. There was the She Gods of the Sharks. Something in the 50s. I don't know. I will look into that for you, Courtney. That was a 50s movie. There were very few.
There was also a Scooby-Doo episode with Sonny and Cher and
there you go. But that had to be 70s after.
Maybe it was. I think you're right. That
yeah. So Jaws, of course, generated a bunch of shark movies. That makes sense, right? And then they were killed because of the lack of interest in the Jaws the Revenge, or it just kind of ran its course. Then we had, in 99, we had Deep Blue Sea. 99, I didn't see this movie. I haven't seen a lot of these shark movies, I've learned. And then it started a whole nother grouping of shark movies in the 90s. And then there was a little break, and then we have the Sharknado that comes in, and then the advent of, I guess, more it's the easier access to making indie films, and then we have all bets are off, and we have shark films. So I'm going to read you some of the fabulous things. Other than Sharknado, we have Meg and Megalodon movies. We have The Shallows in 2016, but then it gets even better. In the 2010s, get ready, Courtney. Are you ready?
Oh, I already have probably seen all of these.
I hope I want to know the number of ones you've seen, because these names, I'm telling you, I'm enjoying saying these words. So, of course, the magical adjacent ones, of course, Ouija Shark and Ouija Shark 2, which we've done here. Shark Exorcist, Ghost Shark, Nightmare Shark, Sharkula, The Black Demon. Okay, you've seen them all. Okay, keep going. So the horror ones, we've got Camp Blood Clown Shark, Mummy Shark, Jurassic Shark, Cocaine Sorry, I can't. Nano Shark, Revenge of the Lost Shark. And then there's ones that don't have shark necessarily named: Great White, Something in the Water, No Way Up, Last Breath, Shark Bait. And those are the ones only the ones that I've listed because I'm laughing too hard. There is a movie in 2023 called Sharksploitation, which talks all about the exploitation of shark narratives that you need to watch. And wait a minute, I got one more. And for all of you animated fans, there is Shark Tales. And I will end this thing by saying, fish are friends, not food. Bruce the Shark.
I just want to hop in real quick because I took this picture earlier while I was watching a movie that I will talk about later. And these are the films that it recommended to me. And I'm only going to include, I'm going to include them all. Some of them are shark related, some of them are not. We have obviously Ouija Shark. Then we have Killer Thong. That is what you think it is. Then we have Sharks in the Hood. Then we have Meth Gator. We have Bad CGI Gator. We have Shark Side of the Moon.
And that's the funny part is that I didn't list these earlier, but the shark when Jaws came out, it created this need for people to make movies about a killer animal, and so you also had movies about killer. Let me see, you had a killer alligator. I have the list of some of their names. The piranha, alligator, grizzly, orca. Jaws of Satan is actually about a king cobra. It is one that we can do here about Satan is a king cobra. So there was a whole rash of films in the set. Yeah, exactly. There was a whole rash of films in the 70s, and then later about killer animals, cocaine bear, cocaine shark. I mean, it just happened, man.
I would love to hop in real quick because just to piggyback off of what you were talking about with the Jaws effect. So I'm sure that I've talked about this any other time we've talked about shark movies, but I was a shark kid growing up. I did not want to be a princess. I did not want to grow up to be president. I idolized Eugenie Clark. I wanted to be a marine biologist from the time I could walk. I learned how to swim in the ocean before I learned how to walk. I was at the beach constantly all the time. Sharks were my favorite animal. Top of my bucket list item still to this day is to touch a great white shark. And I literally, I think that they're my death plan. I made people, when I got hospitalized, I made people promise that if I died, that they would bring my body out to the Cape and tow it behind a boat so that the sharks would eat it, because that's where I belong. When I tell you, I have shark license plate, I have shark tattoos, I have shark everything. I love sharks so much, and they're so misunderstood, and I've loved them for as long as I can remember loving anything. And I refused to watch Jaws for a very, very, very long time because I knew what it had done to sharks. And I, on principle, could not bring myself to watch it. Of course, when I did see it, and this is, I'm talking like Nathan was alive. I think I watched it for the first time with Nathan. So his first time was my first time. Of course, it's a great film. Of course, it's a classic. I love it. I love the shark. I love everything about it. But I can't get out of my brain what it did to sharks. So I can never forgive it for that. It does redeem itself because of all of the gifts that it has given me thus far as being an inspiration for all of the other things. And I do believe that therein, just like you guys said, is the magic for it. It's not even the magic of making people scared of sharks and the power that it had to do that, because that's the mark of a great film. It has power to make people feel things, but the inspiration behind it, when I have something to talk about later on in the show, and it the whole time I was doing what I was doing, it was like just the parallels were insane, because it's the inspiration for all of these things. None of these movies, these stupid shark horror movies, none of them would happen without Jaws. So that's my spiel. I hated it on principle before I ever saw it because I love sharks too much, but it's a great film. And I'll forgive it.
Okay. Wait.
I want to say something too. Go on.
I was just going to say, if you love sharks, like you love sharks, like I love animals, I felt sorry for the shark. I mean, the sharks do what the shark do. They eat. I felt sorry. They were so mean, poking him. That's torture. And then blowing him up. I knew yeah, the reason I got through it was because I know it's a mechanical shark and I could go see it at Universal Studios anytime I want. Could still do it. So I know it's not a real shark. But had I even thought, and I know they don't really hurt animals in movies, but maybe in the 70s. But if you as a shark lover, didn't you feel sorry for the shark?
No, because I knew it was a mechanical shark. But you know what? I do root for the shark. If someone, because we've had recently a couple shark attack. Yeah, I've seen that one. We've had we've had a couple incidents here on the Cape because we had our white shark population decreased because they were culling seals, and to maintain or to diminish the seal population out on the Cape. They stopped doing that. They put regulations on that, and the seals came back. So when the seals came back, now the sharks came back. So we're overrun with sharks on the Cape. It's one of the biggest shark populations in the world, which is fantastic for me. I love that. But that people need to be shark smart, and they're not. So they go in the water and they interact with the shark, and they get bitten. And again, because sharks don't have hands, we don't have shark hands. We are doing exploratory things with our mouths because that's the only thing we have. But a white shark exploratory, that's your leg. That's your femoral artery, whatever. Goodbye. But
shark.
Yeah, the I always root for the shark. And most people, especially around here, feel the same way. If you make a choice to go in the water, because everyone knows there's signs at every beach, there are flags, there are everything, there's shark spotters, there's the plane that goes out, there's the research boat that's out there all the time. If you are not paying enough attention and you make a choice to set foot in that ocean, you're going into their home, and if something happens to you, that's on you, not the shark. So where the shark tracker that you just put in the private chat, I have 3 apps about it. I get notifications constantly because I want to know what the sharks are doing. I know when they're back. I'm watching real-time sharks all the time. This is my special interest.
There are shark trackers. You could
Patti, let me pull it up for you right now. Let's see where the sharks are doing.
They name them. You can go on it and you can see their names and watch them when they tell you what kind of shark it is.
I can't see.
Is that the O-Search one?
No, this is Sharktivity. So this is specific to the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, which is who my license plate benefits. So this is, let's do the past 2 days. So they have
Apple tags or something.
So they have tags, and then all along the Cape. Hold on. All of these, you can't really see it, but all of these little pings right here, these are all buoys, and the buoys ping the shark tags as the sharks go by, so you can tell what direction they're going. And then you also have other ones that are shark sightings, so people who have seen the shark, or they've seen a predation, or they've done whatever and they reported it. So like there's pictures of seals, like you have to click on it to see it, but there's pictures of seals that are with shark bites in them, or there's pictures of fins in the water or whatever. But these buoys are real time. So what happens is the Dr. Greg Skolmel, he's been on Shark Week on Discovery Channel. He's out there on his little boat, hanging off the edge of the thing, tagging the sharks. The sharks swim up and down the Cape constantly, all the time, all summer long, pinging off of these receivers. And then you get a thing on your app that says, oh, shark alert, there's a shark off of this beach moving north, or a shark off of this beach moving south, or whatever it is. And then they clear out the water, and after the shark goes by or pings somewhere else, then they let them go back in the water. So they're doing a lot of things while also making really cool discoveries about sharks.
But that won't send people out to go kill them or anything, will it?
Well, no, yes, but a couple years ago, they were trying to say that the exploding white shark population was ruining tourism on the Cape, or one politician said this. And then I don't remember his name, I'd have to look it up, but he went on to call for a shark cull. And when I tell you I was this close to getting in my car and going down there and knocking on doors and doing something, because how dare you be so ignorant? But lucky for me, everyone else had the same idea and he was laughed out. So absolutely not.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Heather, for all that information. We went left, we went right, we went everywhere. Sharks. Okay, Jason, what was that? You go.
Oh, I was just like, we went here, we went there, we went everywhere. Yeah, like a shark. Do you want to know something crazy about this movie? I finished watching it today at about 5:45 my time. Show starts at 6 p.m. my time. I had never seen it before.
What?
I had never seen
Wow.
Yeah.
I watched it this morning.
My wife came home early today and she's like, "You've never seen Jaws?" And I will say it's such a cultural touchstone that, especially on the 4th of July, you always get memes about how the beach will be open. You always get, we need a bigger boat and all those things. So even if you haven't seen it, you still are familiar with it because it's such a part of culture. But I had never sat down to watch it before today.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. And as a child, I would not get in the water because of Jaws, even though I had not seen the movie. I was still so terrified of it that I did not swim in the ocean for many years on trips to the beach.
Wow.
Wow.
My brother was a surfer. I live in the just like you, but Southern California beaches.
Yes,
and he
different.
Used to go to Doheny, which is even south from us. He would get his little woody and go down and surf and surf. I remember we went to go pick him up once because a surfboard was found with a big shark bite in it. And like days later, they found the half of the surfer that was left. And I was pretty little because my brothers are way older than me. And when we went down to go pick up my brother from his friend getting eaten by a shark.
Oh my God.
Wow. But I've swam in California ocean my whole life. Didn't ever get that. One of my best friends, Patti, lives in Marina del Rey, and they have a beach right there they call Shark Beach. She will not go in it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
See, and you know what? The one time I went to California, and this is me every time I'm at the beach, the one time I went to California, it was sunset, which is feeding time, and I saw something in the water, and I didn't even think. I took off like a shot, and I was in the water because just in case it was a shark, I could be in the water with the shark.
Can I just jump in really quick and then we can go back to this movie? But I'm going to respond to that. What's up on the thing, Jason? I will make you a list and you will sit down and watch it. I am doing that with Ben right now, my partner. I just made him watch 2 classic films and we are getting through them. So I will send you a list. Happy to do it. Happy to oblige.
You better hurry up before football season starts because then my life changes.
I will make the list. I will make the list and you can watch them in between at your leisure whenever you feel like it. But I will make that list. And this was top. Ben, my partner, which I just mentioned, he was attacked by a shark during, he was a big surfer in Florida, and it was a bull shark, which I know a lot of people have mentioned. What about bull sharks? They are very aggressive, and they are in the Florida area, Gulf and everything. And it went after his line. It didn't go after him, and it got tangled up, and then he had to cut loose and everything. So he didn't get bit, but that was the last time he has surfed, and that was probably a good decade or so ago, because you don't mess with them. Just, hey, you have your space, I have my space, I'm not messing with you.
Wow, so that's spooky.
Yeah.
I've scuba dived several times in Australia, well, here too, but Australia. But I saw sharks swimming by really close to us, but nobody seemed frightened by it. So I figured they were friendly sharks. I just hope they were friendly sharks. You're underwater, you can't see, but nobody else is jumping around. So I've swam with sharks, but not any. They must have been friendly.
One of my favorite Shark Week documentaries, I know this is not about Jaws, but if I can change anyone's mind about sharks, I think this is the documentary to do it. I have not stopped talking about it since I saw it. It was years ago. It's called Shark Man. And it's about this guy who's researching tonic immobility in sharks. So they have the ampullae of Lorenzini on their nose, these little like sensory receptors. And he works with great white sharks, and he noticed that there were different personalities among the different sharks that he would see. So some would want to be touched and some wouldn't, but some would seek it out and some wouldn't. So he worked his way up the mountain of sharks, starting very small, and he tested what would happen if you stimulated the ampullae of Lorenzini. And he found that the sharks, if you flip a shark upside down, it goes into what's called tonic immobility. It's basically asleep, and it doesn't move, and it is like frozen. If you tickle their noses where the ampullae of Lorenzini is, they also go into that same state. So he was able to dive with these sharks, like I think they were like lemon sharks, and they would seek him out like dogs. They would come up to him and put their noses in his chest and wait. until he would do it, and then he would be able to like hold them by their fins and like flip them upside down and like do all this stuff, and then he'd let them go, they'd swim away, they'd circle around, and they'd come back to do it again. And he wanted to see what he could do, if he could work his way up. He did it with tiger sharks. He wanted to work his way up to the great white sharks, because he would get in the water with them without a cage and test their their personalities. So that, to me, that's magic. That right there, that's shark magic.
Thank you.
I love a good shark skin suit. Not quite the same thing.
I'm with
No.
Richard-Lael.
Do people eat shark?
Yes,
I
shark
have
fin
eaten
soup,
shark. I've eaten shark.
Shark fin soup is it's one of the crueler things. They, especially in Asia, they've been catching sharks, slicing the fins off, and then throwing them back in the water so that they can't function.
They drown.
There's a lot of
Completely unacceptable.
there's a lot of laws trying to stop that from happening.
I want to just note that in this movie, and bring it back to this Jaws movie, and then to Spielberg's spiritualness, sort of. In this movie, he includes that story that Quint tells, where he talks about what happened to him and why he's been so angry at sharks, and that whole story that actually is based on a real story that actually happened. It is, let me find the date, July 30th, 1945, the USS Indianapolis. It's an actual story that he recounted. But I just wanted to bring that up. I forgot earlier. But one of the things that Spielberg is known for is including a little bit of spirituality in all of his films. You can see that, of course, in his touch on, well, that was Lucas. Star Wars, not so much. You see it there. But he's known for kind of infiltrating his stuff with just a little level of question of spirituality. I don't know if we see it in this. His films are very tight, but there's always questions about life and life and meaning of life and all that stuff. So you find that. I don't know if anybody picked up on any of this one. It's a very, very tight film. And you're so inundated by the fear of the shark and this conflict between man and beast, I guess is the best way to say it, that I don't know if you pick up on anything else. I would have to watch it again, but that's something that Spielberg is known for, that penetrates all of his films. And you see it more with Schindler's List and Color Purple. It's more obvious. Maybe a little in Indiana Jones. But I don't know if anybody found anything like that in this one. Or you're just terrified.
The way they do the shark is so great, though. Like, you just get a little bit more of the shark and a little bit more of the shark and a little bit more of the shark. And I disagree with Richard-Lael. I think it holds up pretty well. There's only one scene where I think to myself, this is a giant rubber shark. But this film, having watched it for the first time today, looks great in a way that a lot of films from the 80s and 90s don't look great. Everything about this is classic. The only thing that says, oh, this is made in the 70s is people smoking in hospitals. That's it. This is it just holds up so well, and I love the shark reveals. And of course, it's John Williams. The score is great all the way through. Yeah.
And not only, it's actually what I love about the score is that it was also inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, and people have put them together, and the scores actually work very well together. Though I heard that in the beginning, it was played on the piano for Steven Spielberg, and he went, "Oh, I don't know. It's just a couple of notes. I don't know." But the composer was adamant, "No, this is the way that it is. Let's get an orchestra together. Let's make it." And it said that when Steven Spielberg heard that iconic bum 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 bum, it gave him chills. And it recounts the Alfred Hitchcock Psycho. It's those minor chords that it gives gloom and doom. And in fact, if you go back and watch this movie, and there are clips out there, if you go back and watch this movie without the music, There's no tension. It's not
Nope.
really. It's not scary whatsoever. It's those minor chords, and that is also magic in and of itself. To make
Yep.
one feel something with just sound, that's magic.
And the scenes, there's scenes from this that are akin to the Psycho scene in the shower, where it is so iconic. And in fact, one of the most iconic things, and I didn't mention earlier, that he did with this movie, that was one of the first, if not the first, I can't remember, this is one of the first times, similar to Halloween, that you actually get a POV the killer. You don't, and especially it's a beast. And it opens up, we are looking from the eyes of the shark. And you see that in Halloween, and you see that going forward in horror movies. It is so rare that you saw that before that, if at all. This may have been the first time you get POV the shark, POV the killer of the horror movie. So it is so effective, so effective. And the music was, and this was the second time he worked with John Williams. Second time.
Yeah.
I
I thought-
thing else. Oh, go ahead, Patty.
Well, I thought the shark was absolutely great. It's 50 years ago, over 50 years ago. And that's amazing. So anyway, what were you saying, Jason? Then I'll go.
The only thing, my only real criticism of the film would be sometimes you watch the kids in the water, and they're all treading water, and there's like 15 feet below them. I don't think I ever swam like that in the ocean. Like, usually it felt like I was standing and that I wasn't going out far enough that I would have to tread water, and far enough that a 3-ton shark could just sneak up on me. Maybe other people do the beach differently, but that was never my experience in Gulf Shores, Alabama on vacation.
Here
I
on
think
the
if you were
they
body,
get you knee-deep water.
They can get
Most
you in
sharks.
knee-deep water, that's true. But in the
The
movie, though,
great
you can
whites.
see them.
I
They're
know.
all treading water.
we were body surfers. You would definitely go out where you could not
Yeah.
reach the ground. It depends on where the waves broke.
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of
body
people
surf
that
too, but yeah,
there's a lot
I
of
don't
people that
remember
go
that
out and
going out that deep.
swim laps that deep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
I'm-
fine.
I must
Heather,
say,
what
this
about
is
about
your
me?
swimming? What about your swimming experiences?
I grew up in the city in a pool, and we didn't go to the beach except for Santa Monica, and when we visit California. So, but
Yeah.
no, I never went out that deep. I stayed close in, and I've kayaked farther out. I've kayaked where there's dolphins all around me, but not swam.
I too have never. I have lived in Greece, Los Angeles. I've gone to Florida. I will not go in the water deeper than my ankles. I just can't.
Smart.
Not for sharks.
That is shark
Not for
smart.
sharks. It's just, moving water and witchcraft. I just can't.
jellyfish. It's jellyfish you have to watch out for.
I
Yes,
can't.
that is
Swim in the
true.
wa- I was raised in the water. I was pools, ocean every day. Hitchhike to the beach.
Yeah.
That body, jellyfish.
Those things are creepy too.
Those are creepy, and you step on them.
Do they even
It
have a
hurts.
brain? Oh, so
Yeah.
creepy.
I must say,
So creepy.
movie, can we talk about how damn cute Richard Dreyfuss was?
He is so
I
cute.
think I fell in love with him there. And then A Close Encounter sealed it. There's just something about him that charmingest, funniest little character actor I've ever seen. I truly fell in love with him on this film.
And then Stand By Me is almost like him later. It's almost like him later with he just rolls. Of course, his role in Beverly Down Out in Beverly Hills doesn't count for this. But yeah, he was so young in this, and watching him, I was like, just such a joy. I just watched this recently on, not because of the show, and it just it's such a joy to watch this film. It sounds weird because it's a horror film, but for me, it's a joy.
Me too.
Over and
The
over.
performances are all stellar, though. Like, these are
Yes.
great actors giving great
Yes.
performances in this movie pretty much all the way through.
And I like that they did not overdo the killer shark. Like
No.
the title character has 4 or 5 minutes in the entire film, but so well done.
Similar to The Wicked Witch, 11 minutes on screen, and so well done. terrifying, overtaking the entire film, but yet only 11 minutes on screen. Jaws is the same way.
I will say too, this almost feels like two different movies though. There's the first half with the beach stuff, right? And you see lots of people, and can we close the beach, and the mayor is getting people killed and all of that. Yeah, he's a bad man, and I would not buy a used car from him. And then the second half of the film is on the boat, and it becomes a much smaller, I think almost sort of different movie.
I think that we see even the mayor in Widow's Bay, the new TV show. That movie is recalling a lot of classic horror movies. If you've been watching it, and I think the whole negotiation of the beach and the mayor and what he's trying to do with that town is very much a reflection back on this movie. You see Halloween, you see other classic horror in it too, but that was one thing that was like, oh, this is Jaws. So, Widow's Bay, watch it if you aren't watching it.
Very good. Also, if I may, I did make a promise last week that I was going to bring up other shark movies, including Ouija Shark 2. And
aren't we lucky?
Well, hold on.
Sharkula?
Hear me out, okay?
Sharkenstein.
On this show, I have talked about this movie Shark Exorcist, and I have given this quick synopsis of Shark Exorcist like 3 or 4 times, right?
Yes.
So I rewatched that today, and while I was watching it, I channeled my inner Jason Mankey and my inner Richard-Lael Lillard, and I don't know what movie I was watching or what movie I saw before that I was giving this quick synopsis of, because that is not the movie I watched today. So I took some notes so that we could reenact my viewing of this movie, if you guys would indulge me, because I would like to apologize for giving everyone incorrect information. Do not watch this. Watch Ouija Shark 2 instead. So if I may, this is my quotes for today, basically. So instead of my quick synopsis, long synopsis, Shark Exorcist. A nun is fed up with the world and sacrifices a woman who yells profanities at her to Satan via the ocean. A shark with laser eyeballs is then shown, followed by 17 minutes of opening credits. Once the actual movie begins, we learn it was not the ocean, it was in fact a lake. We also learn that common sense has no place here. We now see 3 women in a car. A 20-minute discussion about what activities one can participate in at a lake ensues, and one of the women leaves a voicemail while pausing as if she's having an actual conversation. Brown-haired woman tells blue bathing suit woman that she is not a good listener, and to prove the statement, tells her to close her eyes and remember what color her bathing suit is. Blue bathing suit woman is not good at hearing colors, so she gets it wrong and proves brown-haired woman correct. They cannot find voicemail conversation woman because she is in the lake with laser beam eyes shark. Laser beam eyes shark emerges from the vast deep of the lake and attacks voicemail woman in 1 foot of water. Beware, if you have a weak constitution, the wound is very explicitly shown as a circle of wet ketchup on her leg. It may be too much for some viewers. A news reporter informs us a man-eating shark may be on loose in these waters. Blue bathing suit woman is now wearing clothes and seems unbothered about the shark attack while she plays a shark casino game. Brown-haired woman reveals that voicemail woman has, quote, miraculously healed from her shark bite and has been discharged from the hospital. We glance right past that because what we are most concerned about is that we don't want voicemail woman to go back to her boyfriend who cheated on her. Obviously, we choose the shark over man. Blue bathing suit woman is not concerned about any of this because it seems as though she chose her man over the shark, meaning voicemail woman's man over the shark and her friends. Now there's ghost whackers. They are going to connect to the shark attack victim's ghost to find out exactly what's going on here at this lake. The summoning ritual involves breathy begging, clasping of breasts, and a lot of flailing around. Not sure if this is what is expected on me on Scared and Alone, so we have to think about that for the next investigation. The ghost whacker has a seizure and flops around like a fish out of water and then makes growling threats. Voicemail woman is back somehow, and we find out that all she does is soak in her tub. It seems as though she also does hitchhiking to the lake and swimming in the water with strange men. Laser shark is back and gently kills strange man in shallow water. Do not fear, strange man is immediately back on the screen playing his brother, a priest, who is devastated to learn of his own death. He is surrounded by acting books, which no one in this movie has cracked open even once. Brown-haired woman is looking for voicemail shark attack woman, gets too tired from opening the bathroom door and has to lay down. Possessed ghost whacker is back talking into a different camera than her cameraman is holding. She declares that there's evil in the lake and the shark is possessed by a demon. Brianna from Ghost Fakers arrives to debunk the Ghost Whacker. Either angers the Ghost Whacker or arouses her. It is unclear. Priest's brother is back and swiping right on Demon Tinder. 22 and a half minutes in, and we have witches, baby. They're here. They're in New Orleans, maybe, and they're in a circle summoning a ghost in a nightgown who is running around a cemetery, both laughing and screaming and writhing in pain or arousal. She's now rubbing blood on gravestones. It's a different cemetery than the witches are in, and she's angry and or aroused about being summoned away. There was a lot of like weird moaning away from her cemetery to the witches. When is now I'm musing. When is the witch going to get possessed by the shark? Oh, Ghost's eyes are bleeding. Now the witch's eyes are bleeding. Now we're back to Priest Brother. Was this all a video he watched on Demon Tinder? It is unclear, but he puts his phone away and absolves himself of his sins. Stop. Hang on. Just had to pause the movie. New woman, blue pants woman, who is playing on a playground while cackling maniacally and carrying shark toys. Voicemail shark attack woman appears and seems to be hunting her, either for sport or for the corn version of this movie. I'm unclear. Everyone's level of arousal is very confusing. However, voicemail shark attack woman just caressed the toy shark, and when blue pants woman asks what she likes to do, she says, quote, I like to get wet. I need a break. This is a lot. I'm back. It's now nighttime, and Blue Pants Woman is leading voicemail shark attack woman towards a surprise with her eyes covered. Guess what? It's a pool because she said she likes to get wet. Voicemail shark attack woman seems disappointed, but then also aroused enough to strip down to her bathing suit very sensually. This has to be a corn with all the naked parts cut out. There's no way it's not. She gives Blue Pants Girl the look. The look. Pause for dramatic effect. She says she can take a hint, jumps in, and begins playing with her toy shark while somehow being able to ignore voicemail shark attack woman circling her in the water. Again, unclear if she's hunting or seducing. She's listening to her heartbeat, whatever, wakes up. She takes a breath, wakes up, is confused or aroused by the fact that this was all a dream. The Ghost Whackers is back, performing the same writhing, grasping, begging spirit of the water ritual. This is graphic. She's inviting the spirit to come inside her. It's just as confusing as it has been the whole movie. I don't remember this movie being like this. Now voicemail shark attack girl and some other girl are in the water. Laser eyeball shark is back. The random other girl has now been killed. Ghost faker is back to expose the ghost whacker lady who is very clearly now a zombie at some point. Is this it? Is this where the shark possesses a person? Because I clearly remember that, and it's not happening yet. There's a lot of growling. Ghost whacker girl just threw up maybe salt water on her face, but there's no blood yet, so I think she's fine. Another random man, he's taking a jog on the dock past a different random man, chuckling to himself. The random man makes it off the docks without even breaking a sweat, reaches the edge of the lake, discovers random woman's body floating in ketchup blood, no visible wounds, and somehow this sight is so disturbing he's choking back vomit unsuccessfully because now he's puking on her dead body. He proclaims, she's still hot, I'd still do her. And therein is why we choose the shark over the man. A new group of girls are coming in their pledges. Their initiation test is to stand ankle deep in the water, and they're screaming that something is touching them. There's an awful, awful sorority sister leading this, and the shark, laser eye shark, is back, jumps out of the water, eats her. Somehow, Priest Brother is back now. He's at brown-haired lady's house looking for the shark attack woman. He's not a stalker, he says. He clearly, at this point, this is the first time we've finally questioned why the shark is in the lake and not the ocean. He watches Shark Week. He explains it's not in the ocean. I mean, it's in a lake because it is not a normal shark. We get no further information. Now they're at a carnival. Voicemail shark lady is hunting. She finds the blue bathing suit woman is there with her boyfriend. They're cheating. Now she has teeth. This is not a drill. Voicemail shark woman has teeth. Okay, I'm locked in. I'm on the edge of my seat. Brother priest, brown-haired woman. They can't seem to pick a direction. They're trying to find her. Cheating boyfriend is alone. Voicemail shark woman approaches. She is biting him. She is biting him. She is shark attacking his shoulder. Brother priest arrives and yells, "Damn it, the power of Christ commands you. I cannot breathe. It's time for the exorcism," which is now taking place in the woods. Voicemail shark attack lady is tied to a tree, and brown-haired woman says, "We're going to need a bigger cross. It's all worth it. All the maybe corn up until now is worth it." Does Brother Priest know how to perform an exorcism? Quote, not exactly. Oh my God, the corn music has begun. The demon likes it here. I bet you do, buddy. I bet you do. The demon seduces Brother Priest closer and then projectile vomits on him. This movie is delivering exactly what it promised in this one scene. The exorcist meets Jaws. Brother Priest is offended by the vomit, begins strangling the demon, who somehow is now no longer tied to the tree. He's prepared to sacrifice himself to save her. probably for corn reasons, because this has all suddenly become very tense and not in a horror way, and now they're making out. I knew it. Brother Priest is now the shark. He is biting brown-haired woman, and then suddenly, from the sky, laser eye shark comes from a ball of light. Is it an angel shark? What in the killing tree is happening? Somehow there's 20 minutes left in this movie, and the nun comes back, and some random girl emerges from the water with shark teeth and takes her down, and then it's over. But wait, there's a post-credit scene, which makes absolutely no sense, and it's just a girl sensually looking at a fish tank while rubbing plush fake sharks in a store and carrying 20 of them around. So I don't know what movie I watched, guys, but that is the actual synopsis of Shark Exorcist. Please do not watch it. I am exhausted, and I need Ouija Shark 2 instead of that. So I'm sorry.
Brava.
Sorry, guys.
Wow.
Take a breath. Take a long breath.
I can't. I can't even breathe. It's literally, it was.
We are going long tonight. We are going long, and that's okay. You guys hang in there with us if you can. If it's okay with our producer, it's okay with YouTube, and it's okay with everywhere else. Let's go. Wow, I am speechless. Thank you. You weren't. This is good. Jason.
All right, Courtney, you can just turn off your light right now. Just turn it off. You're absolutely going to hate this. So I want to start tonight's little bit by talking about one of my college roommates. His name was Mike, and he used to work overnights at a grocery store stocking shelves. That store was a 24-hour store, and every great once in a while, someone would call the store in the wee hours of the morning to ask a question, and the only people there to answer the phone was the overnight crew. If you've ever worked overnights or know people who have, and I've done it myself, you are probably aware that many of those people do not have the best customer service skills, which is often why they work overnight away from people. But anyways, the phone rings one evening, it's like 4 a.m, and my roommate overhears one of his coworkers reply to a customer's question by saying, "I don't give a frog's fat ass about your donuts." And then he hangs up the phone. That sums up how I feel about Shark Week. I get it. Sharks are semi-interesting. They are big, dumb creatures designed by nature to kill other probably big, dumb creatures. They have lots of teeth. They swim pretty fast. If you like that kind of thing, good on you, I guess, but I don't. And it also worries me because, again, sharks are designed for killing. If that's your favorite thing, you might want to talk to someone and get some help. Tigers are also big creatures designed by nature to kill other animals. They are also prettier and much smarter. No one advertises Tiger Week. Why don't we get Tiger Week? But I digress. I assume we did Jaws this week because it's Shark Week. But Shark Week is not a real holiday, nor is it a real event. It's like the fake holiday of Sweetest Day, which was made up to sell greeting cards. Shark Week is a fake holiday made up by the Discovery Channel to get you to watch TV. Read a book. You know what's a real event? Lammas or Lunasa, if you prefer. And that's just days away. That's an actual holiday celebrated by witches. And here we are talking about sharks. There's got to be some stupid horror movie out there called The Revenge of John Barleycorn that we could have watched or something like that. I can also help someone write that movie if it's needed. Certainly, it would be better than Bambi the Revenge or Alice Murders the Mad Hatter in Wonderland or whatever nonsense movie is up next. The trailer practically writes itself. They hired men with scythes so sharp to cut him off at the knee. They hired men with sharp pitchforks who pricked him in the heart. They hired men with crabtree sticks to cut him skin from bones, and the miller then ground him between two stones. But now he's rising from the grave and will have his revenge. They said John Barleycorn must die, but now John Barleycorn says it's time for revenge. Ryan Gosling stars as John Barleycorn in John Barleycorn Must Kill. This August, the blood will flow like beer. But nope, we settled on Shark Week instead. And the new Spider-Man movie comes out this weekend, and having to watch Jaws though I'm happy I did, interrupted my flow of rewatching all the Spider-Man movies. Clearly, I could be a happier camper tonight. So if you were going to see Spider-Man this weekend, good on you. Look for my review Saturday night, Sunday morning. And I also hope you are celebrating Lammas and baking some bread or whatever you do for the Sabbath. But if you are celebrating Shark Week, I have no time for you. I say to you, good day, because Shark Week is not a real holiday. Why is your light still on, Courtney? Why is your light still
because
on?
I can't see it. Because I can't turn off all my lights, and I don't have my sunglasses over here because I have a lizard instead. And Jason Mankey, I have watched Shark Week every year since its inception, when it used to be in August for my birthday, because it was especially for me because I love all the Shark Week shows. If you think for 1 second that it's not real, you're wrong. And it's not just to get you to watch TV. I had zoo books. I had books. I went to the library. I read all the books. So
Not a real holiday. Not a real holiday.
It has to be, because I saw Josh Gates, my boyfriend, my husband.
yes,
My
thank
boyfriend,
you.
Josh Gates, goes, it's Shark Week. And if
Yep.
Josh Gates says it's Shark Week, it's got to be Shark Week.
Guess who Astro was watching last night? Josh Gates on Shark Week. That's who he loves him too.
Yeah.
Not real holiday.
Jason, you're dead to me. I'm feeding your body to the sharks. I dare you. Ooh, I dare you to come out here.
Okay. All right.
Thank
All right.
heavens there's a country between me and Courtney right now. She
Uh,
is here.
I'm gonna
I
make
am
this.
here.
I'm gonna-
We're very far away from each other. This is good.
A heated Shark Week, but we have to vote, and we are
I'm gonna-
running late. So you guys grab your wands, grab your knives, grab your scuba gear. Where's my wand?
What is that, Richard-Lael?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
This is not a shark; it's a barracuda.
Ooh,
Ooh, Barracuda.
But Christ, I
Jason!
Superman, Frankenstein, or Spider-Man, and Jaws was never my scene, and I don't like Star Wars.
Oh my god, I'm breaking this then.
There you go.
Nice.
All
Nicely
right.
done, sir.
All right.
Nicely done.
Fingers up, wands up, wands up, wands up. And is that a down, Richard-Lael, or is it a half?
No, it's kind of neutral. It's a great film. I just don't care for it.
Okay. All right. All right.
I mean,
Okay, you guys in the chat room.
Works.
Lizard. Okay. Okay. In the chat room, wands up, horns up, wands down, neutral wands. Let us know. How do you feel about the classic Jaws, even with their Jaws abuse?
Yeah.
Rod. Yeah. My rod is up, says Tabitha. Wands up, wands up, wands up. Seems to be winning. We got a neutral or two, but not many. All right. Well, you guys.
Wands down for Shark Week. Wands down.
Oh, how dare you! Your name is going in my jar so fast.
Well, you
I'm a witch of the woods now, Jason. And I will take the woods magic and bring it to the ocean, and I'll send the sharks after you. And enjoy it. I'm gonna
And
feed
I
your
will
name to the
just
river
continue
spirit.
to live on land.
Yeah, well, I'll
All right.
send the land sharks.
All right. Well, up. We have a war. We have it. Will we solve this next week? Maybe we will fiddle it out next week. Speaking of next week, what are we doing next week?
We are doing Dancing at Lunasa. This is a
Mm.
film that where Jason can talk all about Lunasa and Lammas, all he wants.
Woo! It's one of my 8 favorite Sabbaths.
Oh my god.
I got that.
It's a witch
Yep.
joke.
Oh, what joke?
Oh,
A
joke.
Witch.
Witch-
Okay.
which joke
All
is
right,
it?
you guys. Lunasa next week. You guys, if you didn't watch, if you've been inspired to watch Jaws or inspired to not watch Jaws, let us know what you think. We still always want you guys' referrals on movies. You guys check in, make sure you follow us and like us. We have individually on our social media, and of course, as the Witches Movie Coven, go to Mystery Control and buy some merch with these lovely quotes and people up them. You can even get your very own Black Phillip. You can't get Ken, Black Phillip, and you can't get Richard Dreyfuss, but he's damn cute. So, all right, we are gone over, so we're not even going to talk about what we have coming up unless somebody wants to jump in really quick. No, all right. We have one more thing to do. So, are we going to do the bump, 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 or are we going to cackle?
Jackal. Ouija shark. Do
Shark,
do
do,
do
do,
do
do,
do.
Ouija shark.
Ouija shark, do, 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 Ouija shark, do, 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 do.
Ouija
Ouija shark, do, 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 do,